talk about tipping culture and the weirdest place that you've ever been asked to tip really quick? I went shopping for my wedding dress like a week and a half ago, and I ended up finding my dress at the first store that I went to. And I'm not joking, when I went to go pay, they flipped their little iPad around and it asked for a tip. When I tell you, like, I full on froze, I stood there and I think they saw like the blood leave my body. I did not expect to have to like tip buying a wedding dress. And mind you, the store was empty. Like, it was me, my best friend, and then the 3 people that worked there. I think one was the owner and then just 2 stylists or something. So it was just empty. It was just them 3 at the front and then me just paying. And I think my best friend was to the side, like, looking at more dresses. So like I just kind of stood there, and luckily I speak a different language, and my best friend bought a wedding dress at a different store like sometime last year. So in a different language, I looked at her and I said, "Hey, did you tip when you bought your wedding dress?" And she was like, "No." And then I was like, "Did they ask you to tip?" And she said, "No." So then I was like, oh my God, like I really don't think you're supposed to be tipping when you buy like a wedding dress. So I'm just kind of like standing there trying to do math in my head, because the dress is already expensive, right? And then like a 10% on like a $1,500, $2,000 dress is like another $200. And if the dress is even more, you're paying a couple $100, which I guess if you can afford like a $10,000 dress, maybe a tip isn't that big of a problem. But most people really can't, right? Like my mom's the one who paid for my dress. I was just the one that was paying for it on my Amex, trying to get those points. Anyway, I just stood there, and so I was like, okay, I'm not going to tip a couple $100 because that's a lot. And again, why am I tipping at a bridal store? So then I'm doing math, and I'm like, maybe I'll just like press custom and just do like a $50 tip, which I think ends up being like 1.5%, which is like almost embarrassing. But I'm like, also, if you guys think your stylist deserves a tip, why don't you just give her commission instead of asking me to tip? Or maybe I'm wrong. Like, have any other brides ever tipped when they bought their wedding dress? I don't know, maybe I'm being kind of weird, but I just don't feel like that was like a service that I guess she brought dresses out to me, but I did that when I worked at stores. Like, I just got commission off selling clothes to people. Nobody was tipping me at a retail store. I don't know. Tipping is kind of weird lately.